So, something amazing that happened is recently a new FNAF game just got announced, which is pretty interesting. So, this video is here to talk about my prediction theories for it, and basically my few theories on it. I'm mostly going to just talk about what is known about the game, not too much theory stuff, because I feel like most of the theories have already been pretty heavily covered by everyone else on the internet. But surprisingly, this game is a bit weird and surprisingly was unpredicted, but it seems like people really love it already, even though it's not out, because I don't know how many other people thought this, but I legitimately thought it was a fan game when it first came out, because it's very much not in the style of any other FNAF thing that has been created before. But it is actually real. It's called Into the Pit. It's basically a video game adaptation of one of the FNAF books, which is kind of funny. It's a video game based off of a book based off of a video game, but it looks amazing. Basically, there's all that's out is a trailer and a few photos that have been leaked. Mainly, basically, someone leaked that it was coming out, and Scott Catherine was like, yes, this is real, they did leak it, so let's just talk about it. And then they basically released everything about the trailers and stuff. And something else that happened was there was a website called jeffspizza.com that is related with it, because in-game there is a restaurant called Jeff's Pizza. And it was just a website full of images from the game, and one image that might not be from the game, but I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But it seems pretty interesting. It could be hinting to an ARG, or it could be hinting to just parts of the game, or it could be something completely different. So basically, it seems like there's going to be a bit of differences. Here's the main thing to call out. Is with the Jeff's Pizza website thing, one of the main things was there was an image that everything in this game is animated in a 2D pixel art style, but this one image was 3D, which is a bit strange. Most people's predictions are it could be a title screen, and that's what I think too. It could be something else, but it would make an interesting title screen. But then also some of the other images were things like Chica in a kitchen, which that opens up so many lore questions, because now I'm basically moving on to the lore, but because Into the Pit is supposed to basically, there's two main plot of Into the Pit, if you didn't read the book, is a child lives in this really rundown town, a mill shuts down, meaning most people move away because most people worked there. So the main kid's Oswald, their family's kind of poor, so he's always at Jeff's Pizzas. And one day he decides to hide from their parents because they're kind of mad at them for being poor and stuff, and being bored. But they hide in a ball pit that when they come back out of it, they're in the same location, but now it's a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza from 1985. And basically, they just go around playing in that pizza place, and the one thing that they noticed is a golden bunny is constantly staring at them, which has been nicknamed Pit Bonnie. But then basically, they do that a bunch until eventually one day they come back, the restaurant's full of screams, they don't know what's going on because usually it's pretty happy and everything, but it's full of screams, and the golden bunny beckons them forwards, basically brings them to a back room where there's a bunch of dead kids. But that's basically all that happens in the books, in the main part, which I'm going to mention the dead kids later because it has something to do with everything else. But then they basically leave, and when they come out of their ball pit, their dad is like, where were you? I've been searching for you for hours. And then Pit Bonnie jumps out of them and attacks their dad. And basically Oswald has to save them, eventually accidentally hanging Pit Bonnie in the ball pit, which that's basically where the story ends. In this one, though, the reason why that Chica photo is so confusing is that happens in 1985, and the only Chica that should exist in that timeline is the unwithered version of withered Chica, not the Chicas that's shown. You can tell by the fact that they only have 2 toes. If you count the animatronic toes, withered Chica has more than 2 toes, and normal Chica has 2. So they're definitely separate. But that changes a lot of questions, which one of the main theories I've heard that people have talked about on why that has happened is that possibly they possibly have changed the story. So instead, you're going to be going through different time periods of FNAF, not just 1985. And that would also be kind of supported because they said this game's it's the 10th anniversary game of FNAF. So it makes sense if you would be going back and visiting old games. There was also an image that I cannot find anymore, and it's kind of unknown if this was real or not, but it was an image of a poster with Circus Baby on it, but no one really knows if that one's real. Probably isn't. Hopefully it is. That would be kind of cool. But that's most of the weird leaks and stuff. There was tons of other images. Also, in the background of the trailer, you can see posters with things with animatronics like Balloon Boy and Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie's another confusing one because Toy Bonnie only exists around 1987. So there's a lot of things. But one of the main things we've noticed that is a change is when Into the Pit was described by Scott Cawthon and basically everyone else who was working on it, they said that one thing, there would be multiple endings, which is probably going to be amazing, but they also said you're going to be rescuing your dad and 5 dead kids. In the original book, there was 6, which in the book didn't actually make sense because we know that Charlotte Emily died before the other 5, and that wouldn't make sense for there to be 6. So this seems like it's changing it to kind of correct that little mistake. And the multiple endings is probably going to be pretty cool. But now on to theories. Basically, there's a lot of theories on this. One of the theories, another theory on the Chica image is that Chica's eyes are completely blacked out, like they're completely black, which could be hinting that they're possessed by agony, which is a theory on what the ball pit is possessed by, there's a theory that the ball is possessed by agony. So, there's not many other theories I'm going to cover. There's other channels like Rye Toast that probably have much better and in-depth theories. Also, I don't want to sound like I'm stealing anyone's theories, because it's a bit hard to come up with, a lot of new theories, especially when there wasn't too much information released about this game. But I'm probably going to make a lot of YouTube videos of playing it when it comes out. But I want to hear your thoughts about how the game will be. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and goodbye.